The pork chop is one of the most familiar meat cuts in the world, yet it is often misunderstood and poorly cooked. Found in homes, restaurants, and traditional kitchens across cultures, pork chops represent simplicity, balance, and classic meat cooking. Understanding pork chops properly means knowing where they come from, how they differ by cut, how they taste, and how to cook them without ruining their potential. A pork chop is a cut taken from the loin of the pig, running along the animal's back. This area produces several types of chops, each with slightly different characteristics. The most common types include rib chops, loin chops, and shoulder chops. What defines a chop is its steak-like shape and, in many cases, the presence of a bone. The bone is not decorative. It affects flavor, heat distribution, and texture during cooking. Taste-wise, pork chops are mild, clean, and savory. They sit comfortably between chicken and beef in flavor intensity. Pork chops do not have the deep richness of fatty cuts like pork belly, nor are they as neutral as chicken breast. Instead, they offer a balanced pork flavor that works well with both simple seasoning and more complex marinades. This neutrality is why pork chops appear in so many cuisines around the world. Texture is where pork chops demand respect. Because most pork chops are relatively lean, they can dry out easily if overcooked. A perfectly cooked pork chop should be juicy, tender, and firm without being tough. The presence of the bone helps retain moisture and adds subtle depth of flavor. Boneless chops cook faster but require more precision. Nutritionally, pork chops are a solid protein source. They provide high-quality complete protein containing all essential amino acids. Pork chops are rich in B vitamins, especially thiamine, which supports energy metabolism and nervous system function. They also supply minerals such as zinc, phosphorus, and selenium, which contribute to immune health, bone strength, and cellular protection. Compared to other meats, pork chops offer a middle ground. They are leaner than many beef cuts but richer than chicken breast, depending on thickness and fat trimming. This balance makes pork chops appealing to people who want flavor without excessive fat. Lean pork chops can fit well into high-protein and balanced diets when portion sizes are controlled. Cooking pork chops is where most mistakes happen. For decades, pork was overcooked due to outdated safety fears. This led to dry, tough chops and gave pork chops a bad reputation. Modern food safety standards allow pork to be cooked to a safe internal temperature while remaining juicy. The key is avoiding high heat for too long and allowing the meat to rest after cooking. Pork chops respond well to several cooking methods. Pan searing creates a flavorful crust while keeping the interior moist when done correctly. Grilling adds smokiness but requires attention to prevent drying. Baking and roasting provide even heat, especially for thicker chops. Brining or marinating pork chops before cooking is a common technique to improve moisture retention and flavor penetration. Different types of pork chops offer slightly different experiences. Rib chops are generally tender and flavorful, often considered the premium option. Loin chops are lean and mild, requiring careful cooking. Shoulder chops contain more connective tissue and benefit from slower cooking methods. Understanding these differences helps match the chop to the right cooking style. Culturally, pork chops are a staple in many traditional cuisines. In European cooking, they are often pan-fried or breaded. In American kitchens, grilled pork chops are a summer classic. In Asian cuisines, pork chops may be marinated and fried or braised with sauces that enhance their mild flavor. This global presence shows how adaptable pork chops truly are. Health discussions around pork chops often focus on fat content. While some chops include a fat cap along the edge, this fat contributes flavor and helps protect the meat during cooking. Trimming all fat may reduce calories but often results in dry meat. Balance, rather than elimination, is the smarter approach. Another important factor is portion size. Pork chops are often served as large portions, but nutritionally, moderate servings are more than sufficient. Pairing pork chops with vegetables, grains, or legumes creates a balanced meal that satisfies without excess. From a culinary perspective, pork chops reward simplicity. Salt, pepper, and proper heat control can produce excellent results. Overcomplicating seasoning or cooking often works against the cut's natural qualities. This is why pork chops are often used to teach basic meat cooking skills. In recent years, pork chops have seen a resurgence as cooks rediscover proper techniques and quality sourcing. Thicker cuts, better cooking methods, and improved awareness have transformed pork chops from a dry afterthought into a respected staple. Sustainability discussions around pork chops align with pork production overall. Using common cuts like chops supports whole animal utilization and reduces waste. Choosing responsibly raised pork further improves the ethical footprint of this widely consumed meat. Ultimately, pork chops represent balance. They are neither indulgent nor restrictive, neither bland nor overpowering. When understood and cooked correctly, pork chops deliver reliable satisfaction and nutritional value. They are a reminder that classic foods endure for a reason. In conclusion, the pork chop is a foundational meat cut that deserves respect and understanding. Its mild flavor, nutritional strength, and global versatility make it a timeless choice. When prepared with care and knowledge, pork chops prove that simplicity, done right, is never boring.